new album. What was the process?
Well, you know, the process for this record was different. I mean, after so many years of making records, I wanted to do it different because what I would usually do, what I've been doing for, you know, forever is, I'm in California, we go to a recording studio, everybody shows up and we record all day long, and, you know, you tend to get the same results if you do the same process. You know, and everybody shows up to the studio pissed off because they were stuck in traffic for 2 hours on the 405, or someone's late, or the phone's ringing, or, you know, friends or management or whoever's dropping by. It's just chaos. So we thought, why don't we, last time we were on tour, we were watching the documentary about the Rolling Stones recording Exile on Main Street, and we go, let's do that next time. So what we did was we moved a recording studio out into a barn out in the middle of nowhere on the East Coast, and the band just moved there and lived there, and we did it that way. And because of that, there was no distraction, and we just feel, you know, it just made such a difference. We just every day focused on that, and the phone never rang because no one even knew who we were. No one ever showed up because they didn't know where we were. So we just could work as a band, you know, and it was such a different process. It was just all about the music. There wasn't the constant craziness that always interrupts.
And was there something specific that inspired you to create the album? Sort of any specific themes or a moment that you thought?
No, I mean, really, what we were just trying to. There was a real free vibe on this record in the sense that exactly what everybody's complaining about in a way, like, oh, the record industry's dead, everybody steals everything, this and that. I decided to take that as a positive thing and go, well, since that is sort of the reality of what's happening, I thought, well, then you're not so caught up in like, oh, we have to write perfect singles for the radio and MTV and this and that and everything, because those, my chair is squeaking, those things are sort of disappearing. So when you kind of get out of that mindset, you almost go into the mindset you were when you first started a band, because you're not thinking about that. And you just kind of get crazier and do cooler stuff. Whenever you do, you feel free creatively, you just write better songs, I think.
And is there any sort of story you feel you're kind of telling with the album?
There is. I mean, actually, when I was making the record, I wanted to concoct a storyline, because before I started the record, for some reason I've been watching a lot of rock movies, like things like Quadrophenia, Tommy, or The Wall, or, you know, things like that. And I thought, oh, no one ever does that anymore. That's just such a lost art, those type of films. So I thought, I'm going to create a storyline for this record, but I'm not going to tell anyone what it is, but I will have it. So if someday, if I could go, let's make a movie of this record, it will actually make sense. So nobody knows what it is. The band doesn't even know what it is. I didn't tell anyone, but there is a storyline that runs through the whole record.
And tell us about who's in your band at the moment and how everyone kind of works together.
Well, the band is the same bunch of, you know, same bunch of bananas it's been for a while. You know, John Five's been with me now playing guitar for about 8 years, and Piggy D's been on bass for 6, 7 years, and, you know, Ginger's our newest member, but even he's been around for a couple of years. And it's, you know, I would always say this, and I would genuinely always mean this, but this is the best group I've ever had. Because that's the goal. I mean, members come and go, and it sucks, but you always try to find somebody that's even a better fit. And after, you know, doing this for 25 years, this really is the best group I've ever had. There's no arguing, there's no problems, everybody's old enough and mature enough to know what their role is and to appreciate their role. You know, because when you're young, bands are always like fighting over like everything, and they don't realize how great it is that they're in the band until it's all over. But we all know how great it is, so there's just, for the first time ever, there's 4 people on the same page, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Usually there was 3 and 1 person who wasn't. And it's funny how all it takes is 1 person not in the groove, and it can really derail things, but it's not like that anymore.
Okay, and kind of tied into that, I guess, and that, I guess, camaraderie you've got with the guys, is there any kind of funny stories about the recording the album? Strange events.
Well, yeah, there was nothing. I mean, it's all, you know, that's the funny thing when everyone asks you, so like, what's a weird tour story, weird thing? It's almost like everything's weird, so you become immune to it after a while. Like someone else walks into the picture and they go, is it like this all the time? But you just don't notice anymore. Because really, it is a weird bunch, especially our drummer Ginger, who I'm not sure is from this world. He's just so bizarre. But it's not like anything particular, it's everything. Everything this guy does is weird. And at one point I had to shut him down because there was one song, We're an American Band, where we needed a cowbell. I think, okay, bring in a cowbell. Not 50 cowbells, so that you're checking 50 cowbells all day long that you shipped in from everywhere. So it's just stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's like having Rain Man from outer space in the band, basically.
And what's up next for you, kind of musically, I guess, and you know, where can people see you live?
Well, musically, the next thing we're doing is starting in June. We're headlining the Mayhem Tour this summer in the U.S., and then from there we'll branch out around the world. But that'll be the first live gigs for, you know, this new album.